Alright everybody, in today's video, we're gonna return back to talking about fighter jets for a bit. And this is definitely one that was built in Ohio. I mean, look at that goofy plane. 2022, everybody. Anyway, yeah, welcome everybody back to the channel and another interesting video in the magnificent flight simulator. In today's video, let's talk about an interesting add-on that you guys really wanted me to review. Obviously, this is the new F117 Nighthawk. You know, this costs $20 to buy. You can buy this on the marketplace store, which, you know, always means you can also get this for Xbox. It's got a relatively decent rating at 4.2 out of 5 stars. Things are looking extremely well, with the exception of the airplane model, but that was the real plane. Yeah, this is relatively a decent model here for the flight simulator though. You know, I normally don't really talk about fighter jets here on the channel. I'm generally even kind of uninterested in them. You know, war isn't good. It's kind of cool though, but you know, what's not cool is the design of this plane. And you know, I wanted to talk about this plane for a while now. Everybody, the F117, I hope I pronounced that properly. You know what we can definitely see already is that this plane was definitely built in a very goofy way. We have very unaerodynamic design, you know, I mean, look at this. And of course, that is because this plane was built all just with one mission, and that is being stealthy, not to be seen by a radar. And yes, indeed, this plane was really not seen by radar. This plane was incredibly successful at what it is. It stands as a legend in the US history of war. This plane served for so long, from the 1980s to even 2008, still used in combat, which just shows this plane really was incredible. Now, this is a stealth bomber, meaning that it could also bomb things, which you cannot really do in the flight simulator, by the way. Now, anyway, let's return back to this goofy design, which is, by the way, super unaerodynamic, which is a compromise. See, it's built, you know, with these interesting shapes in a specific way that I'm too stupid to explain, so that by shape it isn't seen well by radar, which also means it stands as a brick aerodynamic wise. Now, the interesting black paint we can see on here is a very thick protective layer, which also helped this plane to not just appear on any radar. And something else that was focused on is the engines. These aren't powerful at all to, you know, create the least exhaust fumes, to not show up as infrared. You know, don't want to get the air too hot because it's going to show up, which also has the compromise of being that this plane is incredibly underpowered. All right, so takeoff. This plane needs some knots to take off. Let me tell you, like 150 knots we can see here on the airspeed indicator. We're only starting to get into rotatable speeds, which means we've just... Look at this runway. This plane is not big. Normally, you can see 737s operate on this runway, no issues. This plane was incredibly underpowered. Not only that, this plane was known for its incredibly poor handling. It's basically the worst thing you could imagine. And that's why it was often referred to as the wobbly goblin aircraft. So things looking great. So it is definitely nice now to have a nice realistic model here in the flight simulator. Let's get here into the cockpit of this incredibly stupidly flying plane. Here we go. Literally, airliners are faster than this plane. This plane was not even able to hit any supersonic speeds, like, at all. Like, seriously, on a good day, 787 can, you know, hold up with this. But something else that now stands out while we're flying is that this plane is incredibly flat, pretty hard to see, even to the naked eye, and especially to the radars. Anyway, let's take a bit of a look at this add-on right here. I mean, something we have, and I recognize that. We have F18 sounds, no custom sounds. But something that is quite decent is, well, the add-on itself. Autopilot seems to work quite well. This screen doesn't seem to work, which I think controls the weapons. All right, some of these switches don't work. Most of these switches actually don't work. Yeah, let me tell you, this is not that crazy, interestingly realistic. I'm not even quite sure about the physics part, but everybody, it's time to do the ultimate flying test, the skill test of a pilot. How well can you fly the Nighthawk? And especially land it, because that is something that was known to be not easy. All right, come on, let's put the little goofy our landing gear down, because that looks kind of really goofy. I gotta say that. Look, the traction was kind of cool, but just doesn't look very elegant. But that wasn't really the point of this plane, you can see that. Anyway, let's maybe try to come in for a landing. Now, we don't have any flaps. Not a very well-equipped plane here, which also means that you have to have a pretty high approach speed and landing speed in this one. High-speed landings were a thing. No, you couldn't really find this plane on aircraft carriers. This one was just incredibly underpowered. I mean, not only engine-wise, but also aerodynamic-wise. Not very acrobatic. Look at this. This is, yeah. I mean, this is quite interesting because this plane reminds me so much of another stealth plane, an older stealth plane, the U-2 Dragon Lady, the worst flying plane ever, which was also built with the mission of stealthiness in mind. You can tell that by the handling. Anyway, let's go in for a landing here. All right, 170 knots of speed, really need here. All right, oh God. You know what, that hasn't even been half bad. Probably, you know what, this is probably one of my best fighter jet landing. You know, fighters are not built to land easily. Anyway, here we go. A landing has been done. A stop is being done. It's not very efficient. We don't have any spider surface, nor do we have any reverse thrust or anything. This plane literally took the whole runway to stop. All right, we're going to London City. This is going to go very well. You know, I just hope I don't accidentally declare war on Britain. Okay, come on. And go. Just a bit of a performance when it comes to takeoff check. We've reached the other touchdown zone. Come on, take off. Come on, honestly now. Oh, yeah. Okay, that we have touched grass. That has been the most miserable takeoff I've ever seen. Also, now I'm having some issues here. I mean, I can definitely see what the pilots meant about this wobbling. Look, I mean, we can really see this. Look, it's even wobbling by itself. This plane sucks. But no Liz Truss is gonna see this plane on the radar. She's not even in service anyway. What I like to see is the aerodynamic capabilities of flying upside down. That works pretty well, despite this plane not being symmetric at all. You know what? This might just not be realistic, this add-on. Anyway, all right, go to Lamoille Airport. I mean, the F-18 can definitely take off here. This is not that short of a runway. You know, 737 can also work very well with this one, so I wouldn't really worry here with this plane either. It's so incredibly underpowered. Like, it's weird. You're literally singing a fighter jet that accelerates as fast as like a CRJ. All right, come on. Oh, God. Oh, wow. Oh, not bad. Okay, let's try landing right here. Look at that handling. It's horrible. Oh! Nothing to worry about. Jesus Christ, I just completely lost this plane. Yep, that's what an early stalling speed of 150 knots does to you. What the hell? All right. This is a very good idea. Welcome back to St. Bartholomew Island. I mean, the F-18 can actually fly here. That's a thing. All right, come on. You know what? This actually isn't looking too bad. 130 knots. Oh! Oh my God. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. This is not a very forgiving plane. I just pulled up. Oh my God. Yes, I mean, just look at that, you know, horizontal stabilizer, whatever that is. Stupid tail. Like, this gives you no stability at all. Just pulling up all the way will make this plane completely die. Very easy to stall, very easy to die. If you are a stupid pilot and cannot fly your plane properly, which is not the case for most test pilots anyway. But that's another story. This plane was, against radar, still extremely, well, invincible. Until it was shot down once in Yugoslavia, I think. Yes, combat over Yugoslavia, where one F-17 was lost. The only one lost in a combat situation. Now, that was in 1999. It kind of marked the downfall of the F-117. You know, they just thought that this plane was getting a little bit obsolete. There's now new ways around to be stealthy, and planes that don't require a plane to look like this. So combat-wise, these planes were retired in 2008, but still are flying around as training aircraft, which is incredible. So yeah, guys, that is the story about the worst flying fighter jet. An incredible little piece of history finally added now into the flight simulator. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. As always, good night.